in our ancient teachings, we have a beautiful story about the sun and the moon. It talks about when the sun and the moon were created, and it talks about that that the sun was created from an instant of when two elements, one's called Texisticat, Mesli Texisticat, and that's the moon, and nonetheless, these two elements come up. They present them. Our grandfathers talk about the ancient ones, but they're talking about the elements that give life: the earth, the wind, the fire, and the water. But in this case, they tell us that these two elements come up. One's called Texisticat, and they paint him like a big guy. I call him the football player, big guy, tough guy, you know. And then another guy called Mazatzin, and that's the water boy, you know, that nobody pays attention to sometimes, you know. And they don't paint him very nice. He's kind of not very good looking and kind of short and even got a limp, you know. So the time came for our grandfathers to create the ceremony to create the sun. They told us they got together in Teotihuacan, in what we call Teotihuacan, and the pyramids of the sun, they call them now. And they got together for the ceremony, and they said somebody needs to sacrifice themselves into that fire to become the sun. And Texisticat, the big football player kind of guy, he goes, I'm going to do it. Are you going to do it? Who's going to do it? Anybody going to do it? Nobody said nothing. Yeah, you do it. You're the man, you know. And he goes, all right, I'm going to do it. The time came for the ceremony. They lit the fire, and the ceremony was ready. And in the moment he's supposed to cast himself into the fire, he stops at the end of the space, and he goes, wait. He kind of thinks about it. Then he goes back and he tries it again, and he kind of hesitates again. At this time, the water boy, Mazatzin, he gets up and he drags himself and jumps into the fire, and boom, becomes the sun. And Texisticat, well, he jumped in too, and he became the moon. Okay. So what happened? They're teaching us lessons. They tell us, do not hesitate. Okay, do not hesitate, right? Because you could be as bright as the sun, or you could just be a reflection of the sun. Okay. So it's not to put down the moon, of course, we need that, but nonetheless. And our lesson is to do not hesitate. You know, you want something to do, do it. You want to say it, move. They tell us it's easier to ask forgiveness than to ask permission sometimes.
For more information on the next Star Knowledge Conference, go to starknowledgeconference.com.